Welcome back to Chapter 9 of The Amazing Days of Abby Hayes. Of course, this one is called The More the Merrier by Ann Mazer and published by Scholastic. Chapter 9, our calendar quote comes from the Lawn Furniture Calendar. It said, "You should not paint the chair, but only what someone has felt about it." Interesting quote. There it is. What I have felt about my lamp. 1. It gives me light so I can read and write in my journal. Thanks, lamp. 2. It sits on my desk. Hello. 3. It is an ugly yellow. Can't wait until it's a rich, shiny purple. Here is her lamp that she's going to, of course, paint purple. What I think about my other furniture. Number 1, it's in my room. Hooray. Number 2, it's white, brown, and faded blue. Hubbum. Number 3, it's useful. Surprise. No, I don't want to paint what I feel. I want to feel great after I've painted. So, paintbrush in hand, Abby surveyed her room. She had protected her furniture and floor with drop cloths, old sheets, and newspapers. Good thing there were drips and splatters and brush marks everywhere. Yeah, good. Thank goodness she put that down. Abby herself was covered in purple. Her old jeans and ripped up shirt were smudged and smeared. Her cheek had a streak of purple on it. Her red hair now had purple highlights in it. Oh, paint in the hair? Ooh, I hope she's got some good shampoo. She and the room looked like a purple cyclone had passed through. The lamp, however, had turned out beautifully. It was wet, shiny, and perfectly purple. It looked even better than Abby had ever imagined. Her whole room transformed already just by painting one lamp. She took off the sheet covering the desk. It had once belonged to Eva. A long time ago, her father had painted it blue. An earlier green coat showed through in its spots. For a moment, she stood staring at it. What do you think she's gonna do? The lamp had been tricky to paint because of its curves. She had managed with a small brush and with slow, steady brush strokes. The desk would probably be easier. It was flat and rectangular. There was only one drawer. What would it be like to have a purple desk with a purple lamp sitting on it? The ultimate purpleness, Abby said out loud. Finally, she would have a room that would shout Abby. She stirred the paint in its can, and then she dipped a large brush in the paint and held it poised above the desk. "Are you ready, desk?" She began to brush the deep, rich purple paint onto the desk with long, smooth strokes. Abby pulled out the desk drawer, placed it on some newspapers, and painted it carefully. Then she painted the sides and the back of the desk, making sure not to leave any drips or bare spots. She rested the brush on top of the paint and stood back to admire her handiwork. It looked good. Okay, it looked great. She loved it. The room was improved 1,000,000 times over. She was probably the only girl in 5th grade with a hand-painted purple furniture. There was a knock on her door. "What are you painting?" Eva asked. Isabel pinched her nose. "We could smell the fumes all the way down the hall. You think nail polish stinks? This is worse." "I think it smells good," Abby began, when her sisters interrupted. "Wow!" Isabel shrieked. "It looks great!" "I love it!" Eva cried. "Really?" Abby said. "You like it?" "You did a terrific job," Isabel said admiringly. "No drips or glops or anything." "I wanted to make my room unique and unforgettable," Abby explained. "You have," Eva assured her. "No one will ever forget your room," Isabel agreed. Abby shook her head. Her twin sisters never praised her like this. They never even agreed. "Well, I might show it to my friends during the party," she confided. "Speaking of the party," Isabel said. "What have you planned so far?" Eva finished. "What have you thought about? Games, decorations, food?" "Everything is organized and ready to go," Abby said. "We're eating hot dogs, chips, popcorn, potato salad, watermelon ice cream, and cake. I wrote down games to play, but could you lend me some of your CDs and your CD player?" Isabel nodded. "Who's making the food?" Eva asked. "Who's doing the shopping? Who's baking the cakes?" "If you want, Eva and I can help you make the cakes," Isabel offered in a friendly way. Abby hesitated. She'd had enough of Isabel and Eva's help with the invitations. For 50 kids, you're going to need a couple of big sheet cakes, Eva said. You also need to buy paper plates and plastic, silverware. And what about the drinks? Oh yeah, Abby said. I forgot about drinks. You can't, Abby, especially when 50 kids are running around getting thirsty. Isabel shook her head. How many kids are actually coming? Almost everyone, Abby said. She crossed her fingers. Except Brianna and Victoria. Ooh, I hope. They're both a pain, Eva agreed. If 50 kids show up, Isabel said, you definitely need Eva and me. We'll be your own personal party consultants. Right, Eva? Right, Isabel. Abby stared at them. It wasn't often that she saw her twin sisters agreeing like this. Had their brains been affected by the purple paint? Was it the fumes or the color? We'll be in charge of activities, Isabel continued. But shouldn't a party just be like recess, Abby said? Everyone just can amuse themselves? Ooh, no, you're asking for trouble with that many kids, Eva said. We have experience, Isabel told her, and lots of ideas. If you paint my desk for me, Eva said, I'll give you all the help you want. Well, Abby began, maybe. I'll do it for free, Isabel said, with a meaningful glance at her twin. I don't sell my services to my little sister. Eva shot her a dirty look. It's called barter. There's nothing wrong with it. I love painting, Abby said, trying to change the subject. Maybe when I'm older, I'll get a job painting houses. Don't you think I'd be good at it? Yes, Eva and Isabel said at the same time. Think about our offer, Isabel said. I will, Abby promised. She attended the party details soon. Right now, she had something more important on her mind. Her room. Abby's twin sisters walked around the desk and lamp again. I just love them, Eva said. They're so fantastic. Amazing, Isabel said. Purple Splendor, Abby said. That's a good name for a color, Eva said. Purple Splendor, Abby repeated as Eva and Isabel went out the door. The words rolled off her tongue like music. She was on a roll, or maybe a roller. She picked up a paint roller and held it. What could she paint next? She had barely used up any of the paint, and there was almost 2 full gallons still left. If Abby's room looked great with a purple desk and lamp, imagine what it would be like if everything was purple. Where should she start? The boudoir? Too many drawers. The chair? Too many curvy parts. The bookcase? Too many books to unpack. For a moment, Abby studied her room. She leaned down and poured little paint into the paint tray. She moved the roller back and forth to coat it with glossy purple paint. Then she rolled it out onto an empty section of her wall. I think we're going with the purple walls. All right, that's the end of chapter 9. Hope to join me with chapter 10. Bye, friends.